Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog. And today I have another writing tips video for you, and we will be discussing what the difference is between a scene and a chapter. If you haven't already seen, I have done a video on chapter structure. That link is above me now, and I've also done a video on scene structure. That was actually one of my really early videos, so I'll pop a link up of that now. You get to see two different houses, I think, just watching those videos, so enjoy that. I won't go too much in depth of what a chapter and a scene is. I'll just do a summary because it's more discussed in those videos. But what is the actual difference between a scene and a chapter? Before we get into that, don't forget, if you like what you see, to subscribe to this channel. Your continuous support means a lot, so thank you guys so much. This is the definition. Scenes are structural blocks within your story. So they're the breakdown of how your story is going to move forward. A great example, if you want to see a book that only uses scenes, read Terry Pratchett, any of them to be honest. Pratchett does not use chapters at all. He breaks up the story by scene with the little stars. That's it. Chapters are a formatting tool mostly to break down your story into sizable chunks for the reader. It can be used to tell a reader when to take a break. It can be used to create cliffhangers to make someone feel like they need to keep reading. It also plays a part in what age group or what genre you are writing for. A middle grade book may have shorter chapters than an adult book because kids need a break more than adults necessarily want to break. You can also use chapters to swap between points of view or different time periods. When you have books that often jump back and forward in time, you would generally use chapters to do this rather than scenes. So very briefly, a scene would normally follow this structure. You have a goal, which is your protagonist wants to achieve something. Conflict. En route to that goal, something has to happen which gets in their way. Disaster. Your character has to fail. Reaction, how your protagonist reacts to that failure. Dilemma, your protagonist need to make a choice. And decision, make the choice and move to next scene. So that is the general structure of a scene. It can be a full chapter length, can be a scene. It can be a short scene. Generally, a scene is broken up when a character moves to a different place, but not always. Whereas the chapter is a formatting tool. It helps with the pacing of your work. A scene can take a full chapter, or you can have a chapter which has multiple scenes within it. Another thing to bear in mind with the difference between a scene and a chapter is you have to have scenes in order for a story to work. Even in the filming world, things are broken down into scenes. When everyone goes cut, it's a scene break when they're filming. Movies, books, all have to have scenes. Chapters are optional, and although most writers on the earth use them, not Pratchett, there are writers who do not. And technically, you don't have to. There's no rule that you have to split your book by chapters. An example of a breakdown of scenes within chapters. In my current work that I'm writing, my protagonist needs to break into a castle to steal an artifact and then escape. The protagonist breaking into the castle happens in one chapter, so this is one scene in one chapter. However, the protagonist actually getting the artifact is in one chapter, split into two scenes within that chapter. Another huge difference to bear in mind is a chapter can be broken down however you want it, whereas a scene generally must follow a scene structure, like that brief template that I gave you at the start of the video. A scene must have a structure. A chapter is much more wibbly. You can play with a chapter. It can be anything you want. It is a tool to your writing, whereas a scene is a necessity to your writing. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video cleared up at least a little bit what the difference is between a scene and a chapter. Do comment down below if you want any further detail or if anything didn't make sense. The difference is quite a fun thing to work out, and to be honest, the best way to find the difference is to look for them. So when you are reading a book or even when you're watching a movie, see if you can spot scene cuts within them of where a scene ends. This is easier to do in books when you can spot them and then see where it is in the chapter. Keep that template of a scene structure in your head whilst you're going through it and just see where it ends within that chapter. But a scene you must use within your work. It is the story moving forward. A chapter is optional and is mostly a formatting choice page break option. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Tumblr. I post my bookish pictures as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!